I have no idea why I'm making this video. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Natalie. So we have something very interesting to talk about today. I had recently put on my Instagram stories what you guys would rather me film as like kind of a reading vlog, reading a little life, or reading 4 to 5 sad books. And it was very, very cool. I think it was like 51 to 49. But the majority said 4 to 5 sad books. So that's what we're gonna do today. And you're probably wondering, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you put that out? Why? Here's the answer. I started reading the Shadowhunter Chronicles again, and obviously I was reading the first book because I like to read them chronologically, not the way that they came out. And I realized that the third book in the Infernal Devices series is the book that everybody says they bawl their eyes out over. That's the one that they said it's like absolutely sad because of Will. You know, I know because love spoilers, so I know everything. And so I was like, you know what? I haven't had a good cry in a while. And I know I'm not going to cry about the whole Will thing because I don't really like him. So I was like, you know what? I want to cry because I know I'm probably not going to cry at the end of that book. But we'll see. Maybe future Natalie me does cry. I don't know, but we'll see. But as of right now, I don't think I'm gonna cry. That's why I was like, you know what? I want to let out a good bawl. I want to let out my feelings. It's Aries. No, it's not Aries season. I'm an Aries. I'm a Pisces Venus. So I was like, you know what? Let's get into it. Let's do it. And so I picked out 5 books. But the 5th book, I thought I had on my Kindle, but I don't know where it is. I thought it was an ARC that was sent to me. I downloaded it, I think. It was saved somewhere, and now I don't know where it is. So now I can't do that. So it's gonna be 4 books. I really wanted to read it because maybe you guys can help me. It's not The Two Lives of Lydia Bird. It's kind of similar to that. I think it was like an Asian author, like Asian characters, and is like the girl's fiance dies or something and like leaves a voicemail, something like that. So if you guys know, can you guys tell me please? Because I was really looking forward to reading it, but I don't know where it is. Okay, so let's start with the book that I just started reading. Okay, so these are 4 books. So I think I'm gonna do kind of a mixture of my regular reading vlogs and my I read blank amount of romances, mysteries, whatever, where I don't really do reading, like don't give updates. I'm gonna do a mix. So I think I'm going to tell you guys everything that's what I'm going to read, and then at the very end I can tell you guys which books made me cry, which one I liked the most, and I want to give you guys some updates in between the books, hopefully, or like when I'm bawling my eyes out and tell you guys, hey, listen, this is like bawl my eyes out. I am not sure that I'm okay, because see, people who do these kinds of videos, they stop after the like a book makes them cry, right? So I think Chandler did this where she was reading like sad books and she was gonna stop when one of them made them cry, and I don't think any of them made them cry, but something like that. So I think I'm not gonna do that. I think I'm just gonna go all the way through. Like if the first one makes me cry, I'm still gonna continue just because I really just want to cry. I feel like I said cry like 20 million times. Okay, so the first book that I'm currently reading is The Midnight Library by Matt Hague. Of course, this is on this list. This is actually when I got it like months ago. This inspired me to make this kind of video. I was like, one day I do want to make books that are going to make me cry. And I feel like that's it. So this one is a very sad book. Trigger warnings for suicidal thoughts, for depression, for suicide, all of that. Make sure that you guys thoroughly read of what it's about, and also just read the full trigger tags because it's a very heavy book. So basically our main character, Nora Seed, she has lived a life full of regrets. You know, she's had a very rocky life filled with rocky relationships and decisions that she wishes she could go back and do again and do differently. And at the beginning of the book, she pretty much the day that she decides to die or kill herself, it's pretty much like everything that could go wrong goes wrong, and so she decides to kill herself. And when she wakes up, she's at the Midnight Library. So the Midnight Library is this place that's between life and death, and we have the librarian, and she basically helps you go back, not want to say go back in time, but she helps you live out your biggest regrets in different ways. So for example, for me, right, I'm in law school, right? So for example, if I regret going to law school and I end up at the Midnight Library, or you know, something like that, I could go to librarian and be like, my one of my biggest regrets is going to law school. I shouldn't have done that. And she would give me a book, and I would open it, and I would be like transported into the life where I don't go to law school. And I play it out. Like, is it worth it? Like, was it worth going to law school, or was it like, should I not have gone to law school? Like, that shouldn't have been a thing. And then the librarian does tell Nora that she's basically in this space in the Midnight Library until death decides to come for her, and she just has to live out all of her regrets. And she eventually goes back to the Midnight Library every time, not every time, but if the life that she's currently living, the parallel life, if that gives her disappointment, if she's like disappointed in what it is, she goes to the Midnight Library and she lives another life. So it's a really interesting concept. I kind of like this concept, like the whole, like, what could have been. That's one of the reasons why La La Land and Interstellar is are my favorite movies of all time, because, you know, we have me and Sebastian at the end, and I just cry because I'm like, oh my God, they could have been together. They could have been so happy. And then Interstellar, I'm like, oh my God, like he like lived his entire, like, the daughter lived her entire life without her father. Like, that's so sad, blah, blah, blah. So I really like that, like the what could have been. I love that, especially my romances. I feel like that makes me bawl. So far, this is very sad. I don't get triggered by anything. I feel like I said this like 50 million times on my channel. I don't get triggered by like pretty much anything. I'm a weird person. I don't get triggered by pretty much anything, but it is very heavy, and I can see this triggering other people. So please, if you're gonna read it, read thoroughly on it, because I wouldn't want you to go into this blindsided. Okay, and then after that, so no particular, I'm reading that right now, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna read next. So just on top of the pile, I'm gonna read the Traveling Cat Chronicles. So this one I got from Megan, Meg with Books. She was reading, I think, Japanese authors, and she bought at this one. I'm pretty sure it was this one, because I got pretty much all the ones that she said, Before the Coffee Gets Cold and the Hyunjin Murders, and then this one. So this one is, I think, just tells the life of a cat from his point of view, and with his owners and everything. And Megan like bawled at the end of it. But I don't know, maybe because she has cats, but like I'm a cat person. Like I love cats. Like one day when I move out and have my own apartment or house, I'm gonna have like 5 cats. So I feel like I'm gonna like cry if something happens to this cat. I pretty much don't know what it is. I think it's literally just him. Yeah, this novel gives voice to Nana the cat and its owner as they go on the road to a journey. With no purpose than to visit 3 of the owner's longtime friends. That's what it is. So basically, I think the owner is moving or something and has to give the cat up. And so I think he has to go, so they go visit 3 of his friends to see who can take the cat in. I think that's what the premise is. So I'm really excited to read about this. I don't want to cry, because I feel like that's something that can, if I were to be triggered over anything, I feel like that's what would trigger me, is anything like animal cruelty, anything like that. Like I would still like, you know, like fantasy, you know, like war books. Unfortunately, like sometimes animals are the casualties of war, and so like obviously I still push myself through it, but I hate reading about that. So I really hope nothing like that happens in this book, because I'm gonna have to figure out how to transport myself into this book and save the cat. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to read, or eventually I'm going to read History's All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. I read They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, and that made me cry. That was going to be my original. My original, I read like so-and-so amount of books, was going to be The Little Life, They Both Die at the End, and Song of Achilles. I got through They Both Die at the End. I got through Song of Achilles, and that's when I stopped, because Song of Achilles broke my soul, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm going to take myself out of this, and we're going to move on. So They Both Die at the End is, I think, one, like probably the book that he's like most famous for. It's the one where they have, so basically there's this world, and they both die at the end, where you get text when it's your date that you're gonna die. So you get it like right in the morning, or no, right at midnight. They say sometime throughout this day you're gonna die. And they give you this option that you can link up with someone else whose day it is, like who's also like it's death day. And when it's your like death day, like you literally get like all these free perks, like you get everything free, like you have these like place that you can visit to that's only open to people whose like death day it is, and no one ever cheats the system. Like no one ever, like if it's your day, it's your day. So you go into it, right? So like literally, like Adam Silver, like right when you open that book, he's like, listen, like nobody cheats the system. If it's your day, you're gonna die. And so I'm giving you these two characters whose day it is, and they're gonna fall in love. But remember, it's their day, and nobody cheats the system. But still, in my mind, I was like, you know what? Let's, like, maybe it's this, maybe they're the exception. They're the main characters. They give main character vibes. You never know. I didn't really care about Mateo. And he was like, whatever. Even though he was like the main character, like really, like, I think like the main character, like we get introduced in first. I was like, oh, but Rufus still lives in my heart. I love Rufus. Anyway, so that one made me cry a little bit. I teared up probably because of Rufus. Yeah, I teared up at this one scene because of Rufus, but it was good. And so I like his writing. I like how he writes. But I'm gonna say about this. So this one is so Griffin's first love and ex-boyfriend Theo dies in a drowning accident. Of course, Theo had a new boyfriend already, Jackson, but he still believed that, oh no. Okay, so we have Griffin and Theo. Theo is Griffin's first love. Theo dies in a drowning accident. Theo had moved on already, right? Theo had a new boyfriend named Jackson, but Griffin believed that one day he would move back to like Griffin, like to where their homestay, and they would end up together. However, of course, he died. And so the only person who really knows his heartbreak is Jackson. Don't tell me they fall in love. Oh, don't tell me they fall in love. I don't know how I feel about that. Does they fall in love? I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. So we had the first boyfriend falling in love with the current boyfriend. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. Hopefully it's not weird. Oh, because I wanted to make me cry. How's it gonna make me cry? Okay, Adam Sawyer, I'll give you benefit of the doubt. And then the one that I'm probably really excited to read is People We Meet on Vacation. You're probably wondering, this is a romance book. How's it gonna make you cry? Listen to me. I have seen so many of my friends on BookTube and Book Instagram literally cry their eyes out over this book. Because it's just so good. Like, so we basically have Poppy and Alex. Again, they have nothing in common, but they've been friends for many years, and they always take a glorious week of vacation together, right? No matter where they are in their lives, they always take 1 week of vacation together. However, 2 years ago, they ruined everything, and they haven't spoken since. Okay, so basically she has everything, right? So now Poppy has this life where she's like so good, like she's fine, she's wonderful, right? Like it's all going to plan. However, her still biggest regret is that fight she's had with her best friend Alex 2 years ago. And so she proposes to him, let's go to one last vacation together. One last one to just clear the air, bury the hatchet, and Alex agrees. And so it's basically just that 1 week. And so I'm gonna cry because childhood friends to lovers is my new favorite trope. I don't really like enemies to lovers. Like, I still like it, but like it's not like my holy grail trope. I love enemies to lovers. I mean, I love friends to lovers so much, and so I'm really excited to read this, but I'm also kind of scared because like, what if they don't end up doing? Why are people crying? People just say it's like such a beautiful book because of like the messages and like the romance, but like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so those are the 4 books. Again, I don't know what the 5th book is. If you can help me, please. Okay, so those are the 4 books that I'm going to read. Hopefully when I come back, I've cried my eyes out. Hopefully they're good books. And yeah, there you go. There you go. What else can I tell you? That's it. I'm deranged. I want to cry. So I'm going to cry my eyes out. That's it. That's all it is. Also, I realize now that I forgot to fill in my eyebrows. So that's nice. Okay. I will talk to you guys hopefully soon. If you see me jump on here at like 3 in the morning crying my eyes out because of one of these books, mind your business. It doesn't matter. It's okay. I'm fine. Okay. Talk to you guys soon. Okay, so I just finished The Midnight Library, and I think I am going to give it 3.5 or 4 stars. So essentially, yes, we do follow our main character as she jumps from life to life, and to see if she really does want to die or not. But she's a philosophy major. That gives you any indication on where this book is going. This basically, there's a plot, but it kind of takes a back seat to the, I guess, moral of the story and the teachings that I guess the author wants to give us. It basically just talks about how we need to live our life, and no matter how many things we regret, no matter how many things we wish we could go back and change, like at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason. That's essentially what everything is. There's two lessons. Everything happens for a reason, and the only way you can learn is by living your life. So, like I said, I don't know. There were moments where I was kind of like, oh wow, like this is really like hitting. I feel like there was some substance to it, but there was other times where it was just like, you could tell the author was just writing to sound pretentious, and I was kind of like, But I didn't cry. The only part where I was kind of maybe going to tear up was towards the end. There was just this scene where Nora kind of accepts who she is and kind of realizes, I don't want to say how she can change her life, but how she can be better, right, in her own sense. And the way that she was describing, the mental health situations and all of that, like I kind of resonated with that. I do deal with my anxiety and everything, but I definitely think that this is going to be a hit or miss for people. I feel like some people are going to actually like it, it's going to hit them, but there are going to be people who don't like them and who's going to think this is pretentious. And both people are valid, because like I said, there are moments where I was like, this is really good. I really, really am enjoying this. But then there are moments where I was kind of like, oh, this is just fancy writing. I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't think this is it. But like I said, to each their own. I don't know. Okay, so basically I filmed the intro at like 11 noon. And then I was going to start like reading right away, but then I had to go run some errands. So I was watching some TV, and then afterwards I came back from my errands. It's like, okay, let me start reading actually for reals. But then I was calling my friends and I was like, hey, after that, let me actually, read for reals. And then I was eating cake. And then I was like, hey, now for reals, let me actually do this. And it was like 6, I think, or no, it was like 7. And I was like, hey, now it's time. And then I was reading it. It was a very short read. It's a very quick read because the chapters are fairly small. And then I fell asleep as I was reading it. But it wasn't because I was bored. It was because my contacts were drying out and it just made my eyes very tired, and I just knocked out. And then I woke up, and then I was about to finish reading it, and then I kind of got sidetracked. And then I finished it. So right now, I think it is 10 o'clock, 10:30. I don't have my watch. It's like 10:30, I want to say, p.m. I'm planning on reading like the entire night. But I'm only going to read the Traveling Cat Chronicles until midnight, because midnight is when the next episode, the next episode releases on Hulu for Love Island UK. And I need to watch that like right away because it's Casa Amor and the drama. So I'm only going to read up until midnight, and then I'm going to eat my ramen, watch some Love Island, watch some relationships fall apart, and then we'll continue crying. I didn't cry. We'll continue reading. So this one, though, I've heard, the Cat Chronicles, I have heard that this one actually does make you cry. I have Megan, she bawled. And then when I was reading the comments, everybody was like, oh yeah, like the last 40 pages of this book absolutely destroys your life. If you see me crying at 3, 4 in the morning, that's how we move. That's the goal for right now for this reading vlog, is to make Natalie cry. So we'll see. But yeah, so do I recommend the Midnight Library? Again, hit or miss. I honestly, first of all, just look at the trigger warnings and kind of just see if you like the books that have those profound messages, pick it up. If you don't pick it up, because you won't like it. And did it make me cry? It did not. Not even one tear was shed. It almost made me tear up. It didn't even make me tear up. Yeah, so I will see you guys soon. I'm going to be reading the Traveling Cat Chronicles, and then after that, most likely History's All You Left Me, and I will finish this. I will wrap this up with People We Meet on Vacation. Okay, hello friends. It's here to check in. You can kind of see my room It's really messy. Obviously my bed's unmade. It's 2 in the morning. I literally, you can tell I still have my makeup on. Like, it's not ideal. We're going through this. So I just finished watching the new episode on Hulu of Love Island UK. It's getting crazy. And then right now I'm just going to finish the Traveling Cat Chronicles. So I'm on page 128, 129, and essentially and pretty much is that. It's just this guy who finds the cat. He's really a cat person, and he ends up adopting the cat, and he has him for a period of time, and then for some reason he has to give him up, and so he goes and visits his old friends from different periods of his life to ask them if they can take in his cat. And so far we've gotten kind of background stories of like how they met, how they kind of grew estranged, but how they were always so close. Like obviously the fact that he came to them to ask for them to take care of his cat, so it's like they're so close, and it's like that. It's basically their background story. And then so it's told in 2 points of views. It's told primarily in the cat's point of view as he's, living his life as a cat, and then also when he arrives at the new place and his owner catches up with his friends, and then it's told in like a third person point of view where we just read about the story of the owner and the friends. So that's where I'm at right now. It's like halfway. I have some theories on why he's giving up his cat. I really hope I'm wrong, because if they're right, I'm gonna cry. I was already kind of tearing up, like really, like actually like tearing up. Like a few tears were kind of like, I literally had to go like I was like, oh no, this is it. I was like, here we go, everybody, here we go. So I'm excited to see how this ends, because it's really, really good, and I really hope people just cry because of happiness, but that's probably not it. It probably isn't because of that. So I'm scared. So yeah, it's 2 in the morning. I'm exhausted. Yeah, I'm scared, but let's do it. Let's finish this book, and then I probably will not read anymore tonight, and I'll just pick up tomorrow, and hopefully I can read 2 books tomorrow. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, like I could see it. Like I was like, there's only 2 things that will make everybody cry at the end. So I was like, I think I know what's gonna happen. His book was so good. Like that is such a good writing. Like the fact that I'm crying this much over like the cats, like a heartbreak, sadness, and also the owner's like heartbreak and sadness. There's moments at the end where it's just the 2 of them being together, and they're so happy because they're together, this guy and his cat. It's the worst thing. It's absolutely the worst thing. Like I want to go to sleep right now because I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Yeah, wow. I need a second. I need to like just take the rest of the night. It's 3 in the morning. It's literally 3 in the morning, but I need to take the rest of the night. Okay, so I've kind of calmed down. I'm not the clips that you're gonna see before this, the clips that you just saw, those weren't all the clips. I literally like had to cut out a lot because 90% of the clips were just me crying. Like you couldn't even like understand me. I was just speaking nonsense because I just couldn't speak without crying. Like I was just so sad. 90% of the clips will never see light of day because it's not good. So pretty much I just said how the part that got me at the very end was just, I know now everybody says the last 40 pages of this book kills them, like it absolutely like destroys their soul, because the parts where we just saw like the owner and the cat, how they had their good days and it was only them, it was just so good. And it's just crazy like how good this writing is, that it's like
I'm feeling like this because like a cat's point of view, like how much he loves his owner. And the part at the end when it was just the two of them being together and just like having a good time, and they were just so happy. That's when I was like, oh, this is it. Like, this is why everybody says this part is the worst. So no matter what genre you like, read this book. Please do yourself the favor and read this book. It's so good. It's my favorite book of 2021. I think I said 2020 in the clip. If that comes out, I don't even think you can understand me when I'm saying this. When I was crying my eyes out. Yep, I filmed it. Favorite book of 2021. One of my favorite books of all time. And it's just so good. And I'm only halfway done. But I wanted to cry. But yeah, so oh my god, it's 3 a.m. But yeah, so I love this book. I don't even care about the other two books. This is my favorite book of this video. I'm saying it already. It's 3 a.m. I just need to I can't read anymore. Like, I'm emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally drained. Like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry for the clip that you saw. I hope it was fine. But yeah, so on to the next one. The next one's gonna be History's All You Left Me, and that's gonna be tomorrow. Okay. Hey guys. How y'all doing? We're better now. Some of you guys probably saw those clips and were like, you're probably genuinely afraid for me. We're good, look at us. I woke up today with really swollen eyes, but we're fine now. But we're good. We move on. You know what I'm saying? So it's fine. It's fine. Everybody's a good cry like that. But yeah, so I'm good now. It's the next day. I got through what I got through. And yeah, I put the Traveling Cat Chronicles in my God tier book, right? Not my holy grail, but my God tier book with the Truly Devious and Siege of Storm, or no, Shadow and Bone, and Ninth House, Diviners, you know, Davy Jones, the books that are like one of my all-time favorite books, but not holy grail tier. I put it there, and that's where it's gonna live now, at this new house. Yeah, so I pretty much put my hair up, but like we're reading today, guys. We're reading today. So I am currently on page 19 of History's All You Left Me, and so far I'm getting the exact same vibes that I did in They Both Die at the End, where it's pretty much a slow build where we come to fall in love with the characters and we come to fall in love with the story before really the sadness happens. And it's not like I mean, that's pretty generic. Like, I feel like everybody does that, right, in sad books. But Adam Severo has a way where the sadness, it's pretty blatant, like what the sadness is, but it still gets you. But not that much, because in They Both Die at the End, like, I cried, but not really like the Traveling Cat Chronicles cried. And so this one's very, very, you can tell it's very much YA. So I feel like the premise is pretty much all you're gonna get. Like, it's pretty clear cut, you know. Yeah, his boyfriend dies, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna, I don't know what's gonna happen with the new boyfriend. Well, his ex-boyfriend dies. I don't know what's gonna happen with the new boyfriend. I really hope, if they fall in love, like, I really hope it's not weird. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen. Adam Severo, I'm counting on you. But so far I am seeing how, so basically this is told in 2 points of views, in 2 timelines. We have the before and currently. So currently is how Griffin is handling the death of Theo, and we haven't been introduced to Jackson yet, the current boyfriend. And then we have the before, which is them falling in love, right? Theo and Griffin being best friends and then falling in love, and I'm assuming we're gonna see them break up. But yeah, so that's pretty much what we're getting right now with this. Like I said, I see what's gonna happen, like how I'm gonna cry pretty much, but I know I'm still gonna cry. Like, I just know it's gonna happen. But yeah, so very much gives me They Both Die at the End, like the vibes of it, like the characters and the story. I'm getting the same as They Both Die at the End. And I read this for like 20 minutes, I want to say. I'm already on page 19. So I feel like this is going to be a very quick read, like They Both Die at the End, because They Both Die at the End I finished like in 2 hours, I want to say. I pretty much finished that like in one night. Like it was so easy. And then I went on to Song of Achilles. Did I finish both of them at the same time? So yes, I feel like I'm gonna be able to finish this today, but the one I'm really excited to start is this one. I'm actually gonna be annotating this one. I'm really excited. People said that they kind of regret reading this first and then going to Beach Read, because Beach Read, even though it's like one of her most popular books, Emily Henry, this one they say it's her best book. So I'm excited. So yeah, so I will pop in probably when it finishes, because I feel like there's not really much to tell without really spoiling it. And I don't think I'm gonna cry really that much. Like this time, like I kind of know I'm not gonna cry. Like in the Cat Chronicles, like when it started, I was like, oh, I'm gonna bawl my eyes out. I was like, I love this cat so much already. Like I want to protect him from anything. This one, like I can tell I'm gonna be enjoying it. It's kind of gonna be like a TV show kind of thing. Like I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm eating it up, but I don't think it's gonna really hit home. But we'll see. I'm not gonna count it out. But yeah. Okay, so we have 2 books left, and also I remembered I really wanted to read 5 in 5 years, something like that, but I will save that for another video. Okay. Also, I just wanted to quickly pop in really quickly and say that I'm still gonna have a reading vlog for A Little Life. I will get to that eventually. So if you voted for A Little Life in my Instagram poll, I will 100% get to that. And you saw how much I cried in the Cat Chronicles, and you saw how I'm not scared to film that. So I'm terrified for A Little Life. I won't even try. Why lie? Why lie for the chat? Hello, I am finally done with all my books. As you can tell, I am barefaced because I am gonna be on the go. I have to go get my nails done, and then I am going to the post office. So I just thought I'd pop in here and wrap everything up. So I finished History's All You Left Me, and I gave it 1 star. I hated that book. Griffin wasn't, okay, so I thought everything about it was annoying, right? I thought the main characters were annoying. I thought the side characters were annoying. I thought the plot was pointless. There was nothing that it was giving me that was interesting, and so I despised it. I didn't like it. I realize now that I kind of compared it to Beach Read, because Beach Read, the girl isn't mourning. January isn't mourning per se, but she's kind of is. She's like mourning for like the old January, the past January, the one that didn't know that his father cheated. So it's like, I think that the way that adults deal with grief and their own sadness, I guess maybe because I'm like 23, so it's like it relates to me more. And so again, I don't want to fault Griffin being a teenager, but the way Adam Silvera writes his grief, maybe it's him. I don't like it. I think it's really annoying. I think it's super childish. I think it's just like, why? Like I was like in the pivotal moments, like in the 3rd act, I literally was just thinking to myself, like, why would he write this? Like, what's the point of it? Like, it's so annoying. Like, there's nothing that could give it, like, there was nothing there. And I absolutely didn't like it. It's 1 star. I don't recommend it at all. I honestly think that the other book, what is it? They Both Die at the End is better than this one, because this was not it, and I don't recommend it. Please don't waste your time or your money on it. It was just not good at all. At all. Don't recommend it. Please, please, please buy yourself. And then I read People You Meet on Vacation. Okay, I'm giving that one 5 stars. I've decided. I love that book so much. So basically, essentially, this will actually take my time to like talk about it. Essentially, in that one, we just have our main characters, Alex and Poppy, and they are best friends, right? They just randomly met and they became best friends. And every summer they go on their vacations. Either they go to like Nashville, or sometimes they go to like Canada, right? And it's basically just them, like, no matter where they are in their lives with each other and with other people and their, school and family, they will always have their vacation in the summers. And then there's one summer in Croatia, and essentially they stop talking and they go they don't speak for 2 years, and the book picks up at the 2-year mark, where Poppy is also going for another summer vacation, and she's like, you know what, like, I want to make good with Alex. I think it's time. You know, he literally is my best friend in the entire world. Like, literally, like, yeah, they're like, he's like my best friend in the entire world. Like, I need to make good with him because there's no one else in this world I love more than Alex, right? Obviously, besides their families. And so it's basically just them, like, coming together. So we have flashbacks. So we have, like, 10 summers ago, 11 summers ago, 6 summers ago, and we see, like, how they were before and kind of how, like, their friendship progresses. So I have, like, this summer, which is when they kind of come together and they talk things out. So it's, how do I even describe it? It's so good. It made me laugh. At one point, like, it didn't make me cry, but in my heart cried because it was so good and it was just so sweet. And they're just like, I really do love friends to lovers. Like, I really, really do. Except, okay, one of the reasons why I kind of was against friends to lovers in the beginning was because I don't like it when people think that people can't be friends, right? Well, I don't like it when people think that, like, boys and, like, males and females can't be friends, right? They're like, no, like, either they always, like, end up dating or they end up, like, falling in love with each other or something, right? Like, they end up catching feelings. I don't like that. I don't think that's cool because honestly, I do have a lot of close, good guy friends who I consider literally just platonic friends. And anytime someone would be like, oh, why don't you go out with him? Why don't you ask him out? And I'm like, okay, but you're being stupid because why would I risk a relationship when he's literally my best guy friend, right? So I don't like that. And that's like a preconception that friends to lovers have. And I feel like they kind of, when people write friends to lovers, I feel like they kind of walk the fine line between going into a territory where it was like, oh, it's inevitable. Like, of course it had to happen, right? Or it was like, yeah, like, at the end of the day, like, they're my friends first and we just fall in love with each other, right? But, like, you know, it's like that difference. And this one kind of did walk the line. There are moments where Poppy kind of was just saying, like, oh, like, I love Alex so much that I'll just have him in any way. Like, even if he doesn't love me back or even if he'll never love me back, she was like, he's my best friend in the entire world. And at the end of the day, he's getting my best friend first. But then there were moments where Alex and Poppy's, their friendship kind of interfered with their relationships, like, in the past. And the way that Poppy was handling it, and Alex in a way, I kind of was like, oh, so you guys, like, the author is feeding into that preconception. Other than that, Emily Henry did such a beautiful job in writing Friends to Lovers. And literally, I think that this really is her best book. And if you are going to get into Emily Henry, I definitely suggest reading Beach Read first and then going to this because it is kind of a step up from Beach Read, even though I enjoyed Beach Read immensely. Even though I enjoyed Beach Read immensely, it really was a step up from it. So again, if you're going to read Emily Henry, I would suggest saving this for last. People Made on Vacation, which is really, really good. Again, it didn't make me bawl like the Traveling Cat Chronicles, but it did make my heart bawl. So my final rankings of the books are, we have History Is All You Left Me Last, then we have The Midnight Library, then we have this, and then we have the Traveling Cat Chronicles. So yeah, that was my reading vlog, guys. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked seeing me cry. I hope you guys like seeing me vent about History Is All You Left Me. That stupid book. It's so freaking stupid, bro. It left me mad. I was like, I wasted my time reading this when I could have read something else that actually made me cry or I liked. But yeah, so I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys pick any of these books up. Again, except History Is All You Left Me. Like, please, please, please do not pick up History Is All You Left Me. The other books, though, please feel free to pick them up. I think, again, if you're going to pick up The Midnight Library, just make sure you check the trigger warnings because, you know, always be safe. And then the Traveling Cat Chronicles, Be Ready to Cry. Like, really be ready to cry. And then People You Met on Vacation is just a good, good, good romance. It's probably one of my best romances of the year. So, again, if you're going to read Emily Henry, please save this one for last because I've heard people who said they started with this one and then Beach Read and it kind of messed up the reading experiences. So, okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe and go read your favorite book for me.